Welcome to day 4 of my Learn Self-Hypnosis for Anxiety series, a series that gives you step-by-step instructions so you can learn self-hypnosis in just 5 days. If you missed the previous videos, click on the link at the top. In videos 1 to 3 you learned how to induce hypnosis and how to end hypnosis. Now you're going to learn how to make hypnotic suggestions to help you reduce your anxiety, fears or phobias. You will also learn how to combine hypnosis with CBT for the best results. The suggestions are made after the induction or the optional deepener and before the awakener. But first you need to set your goals. Goals should be SMART. SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and time-bound. One hypnosis session is not suddenly going to make you an amazing public speaker if you've never done it before, but it may be able to calm you down before public speaking. If you've had panic attacks for many years, hypnosis alone will not stop them, but combining hypnosis with CBT over a period of months could. I'm not going to go deeply into CBT here, as I have over 100 CBT videos on my channel for phobias and anxiety disorders. But the basic principles of CBT are gradually exposing yourself to what it is that you fear, which is called graded exposure in CBT. Reducing safety behaviours. That's the thing that you do to protect yourself from what it is that you fear. Challenging your negative thoughts and disproving the maladaptive beliefs that drive your anxiety. So let's start with graded exposure, as this is the most common use of hypnosis. If you don't leave the house because of panic attacks, your goal could be to walk to the end of the road. If you have a balloon phobia, your goal could be to see a balloon from a distance. If it's social anxiety, maybe your goal is just to speak to someone new. So your suggestions need to be based not around curing your anxiety disorder, but around achieving the specific graded exposure task that you have set yourself. And this will help you on your path to overcoming your anxiety disorder. Reducing safety behaviours is one of the most powerful ways to overcome anxiety. Safety behaviours are usually based around avoidance, reassurance seeking, or the need to be rescued. Let's say you suffer with health anxiety and you keep seeking reassurance that your heart is okay by monitoring your blood pressure or blood oxygen levels. Suggestions should be aimed at reducing your monitoring and changing the belief that there is something wrong with your heart, assuming of course that a doctor has confirmed this. Here's a great example of a behavioural experiment for panic attacks. People with panic attacks fear busy places like supermarkets, so they believe they must get in and out as quick as possible and keep checking the exit is clear in case they have a panic attack. In hypnosis, you could give yourself suggestions that you're able to walk slowly and calmly around the supermarket without checking the exit. Then you try it in a real supermarket and treat it as an experiment. You may be surprised at the result. If you have done any of the thought challenging exercises that I teach in my videos, you could use the evidence against statements that you've come up with as suggestions in your hypnosis. So let's talk about pacing. The suggestion phase should last around 5 to 10 minutes at most. But in the example I'm going to give you, it's just a few minutes long to give you a general idea. Let's say I suffer panic attacks. I'm going to go into a supermarket as it's the next thing on my graded exposure list. And I'm going to experiment by trying to do it without using safety behaviours like rushing around or checking exits. Notice the pace of the suggestions, but also listen to the language I use, which I will highlight during the video. This is because language is really important in hypnosis, and I'm going to go much more deeply into language in video 5, so you can write the most effective scripts. By the way, imaginal exposure is another great tool that can be used in hypnosis, so I will incorporate that also. Now that I feel calm and relaxed, I can imagine myself going to the supermarket. As I slowly approach the entrance, I accept any anxiety that I feel and allow it to pass. As I'm learning that anxiety does just pass. As I walk through the door, I know that I don't need to look back at it, because I can stay calm and relaxed as I do my shopping. And as I imagine myself walking along the aisles, I know that if I feel any anxiety, I can just smile, because I know that I can just keep my hands at my side and allow the anxiety to flow down into the ground. And as I walk through the supermarket, I notice it's busy. And I know no one is paying attention to me. So I can just carry on with my shopping. I may be surprised at how calm I can feel as I continue my shopping. As I approach the checkout, I notice that it's busy. And I might smile as I think about how this used to make me feel anxious. And I wonder what sort of busy places I might go in the future. And as I leave the supermarket, I'm feeling quite proud of myself, because I still feel calm and relaxed. And now I'm ready to return to full awareness as I count from 1 to 5. So I hope that gives you a basic idea of how to set goals and pace your suggestions, and how to use imagined exposure if that's an approach you want to try. I will go into more detail about script writing and language in video 5, but first I have a task for you. Have a think about how you might use self-hypnosis. Set some goals. It's okay to have an end goal, but you also need to break it down into smaller goals. So it's okay to have a goal like, stop worrying about my heart, but you need to have specific goals like, this week I will reduce checking my blood pressure by 25%. Check that your goal meets the SMART criteria. You can see that this goal does indeed meet all the SMART criteria. Let me know in the comments below what goals you might set, and you may want to give me a like if you're finding this series useful. So I will see you for video 5, which when it's released will appear here.